This presentation will be aiming to answer the question, what is the role of human geography in a changing world? To us, sustainability, climate change, and global health are the main issues that spring to mind when referring to the idea of a changing world. And yet, these are only some of the challenges the world faces today. Human geography works towards understanding these issues and finding solutions. However, while human geography is essential, we have found that these solutions can only be solved through interdisciplinary action. In order to gather understanding on this topic, we conducted an interview of Professor Patrick Devine-Wright, who specialises in energy, a subset of the growing sustainability challenge. Building on one of his research papers titled Legitimacy and Fairness in Constructing Benefit Fund Boundaries for Energy Infrastructure Projects, we discussed the motivations for research in human geography, the methods used to construct an academic article in human geography, and the interdisciplinary approach which human geography should take in research. We will finish this presentation by explaining our own experiences, particularly on the course so far, in order to outline the role human geography takes in a changing world.
Research is a key part to the role of human geographers, which is why we as a group were interested in the reasons behind conducting research in human geography. When interviewing Professor Patrick Devine-Wright, we asked what his motivations were in his research on community fund benefits. He explains that this isn't just an academic exercise in human geography theorising. He highlighted the importance that the questions that are raised have real implications and therefore the research he conducts affects people in real life. In undertaking his research, he aims to minimise the negative impacts that communities will experience. He also discussed how in human geography, definitions can also have real impacts and consequences. Therefore, it is important to raise questions and challenge these ideas. Not only does research in human geography benefit the communities in the area where it is being undertaken, but it can benefit companies and other academics with mutual interests. He told us he is aware that if you get this wrong, then it leads to conflict. Through his research, he aims to minimise the potential for conflict. Therefore, this highlights another reason why research is important for human geography in a changing world.
Human geography should utilise a mixture of qualitative and quantitative research methods in order to fulfil its interdisciplinary role in synthesising various subjects. Devine-Wright asserts that both quantitative and qualitative methods have strengths and weaknesses, and that using them in isolation prevents researchers from seeing the entire value they bring. Quantitative methods became established in human geography following the quantitative revolution. As Chorley and Haggett note, geography should be a science concerned with the general rather than the specific, with human geography taking a role in using quantitative data to develop universal models and laws. Such models could help us understand spatial patterns and relations in different contexts. For example, the central place theory proposed by Kristalla. However, following the rise of radical geographies, qualitative methods became equally established into human geography, notably feminist human geographies, which contrasted with the more masculine quantitative research methods of remaining objective. Feminist geography advocated an interpretive approach, which focused on close engagement with research subjects and empathetic understanding. This development of research methods in geography over time demonstrates the reason why human geography must take a role in using both quantitative and qualitative methods, rather than using them in isolation. The mixed method approach allows human geography to colleague with other subjects and therefore incorporate a range of different perspectives to holistically answer and potentially solve some of the greatest issues facing a changing world.
When talking about his own research, Professor Patrick Devine-Wright claims that it is only geographers that would be interested in this topic. Human geography, in order to make a significant impact in today's changing world, must work in tandem with other disciplines, such as sociology, economics, and politics, and conduct research and draw conclusions that can have real-world benefits. By doing this, a wider perspective on the research topic can be gained in order to ensure the findings' applicability and generalizability to real-world issues. Patrick goes on to say, human geography is constrained and limited. It's important, but I don't think we should over-egg its importance. Human geography is just one piece of the pie. We have to be modest and realistic as to the extent to which this one discipline can have a noticeable impact on the world. Again, this emphasizes the need for a multi-perspective approach in terms of research that is done, within human geography and related disciplines in order to avoid the constraints and limitation Patrick refers to. In terms of a changing world, the multi-perspective approach is going to be more important than ever, with huge issues such as climate change and world poverty facing the world today. These two examples are hugely related to geographic theory and research, but also to other disciplines such as physics, economics, and sociology, thus placing a huge importance on the multi-perspective approach in order to tackle these issues going forward.
In order to further answer the question, we have drawn ideas from our own experiences. Since starting our course at the University of Exeter, we have studied many modules that have allowed us insight to human geography's role in a changing world. Geographies of global change, geographies of environment and sustainability, and concepts in geography are some that we feel have expanded our knowledge on this question the most. In a changing world, human geography has adapted and will continue to adapt to its role over time in order to find academic value. For instance, during the imperial era, which we touched on in the study skills module, geography found use in mapping and navigational skills, making it academically worthy. The quantitative revolution, studied in concepts in geography, also changed the role in which human geography held as a discipline. The module Global Change taught us that human geography has found role in understanding the economic, social, and political relations which operate within the broad overarching concepts of place, space, identity, culture, and sustainability. As Patrick pointed out, there is a very important role to be played by geographers in particular because we think spatially. This module also taught us how changes in politics can influence the focus or role of human geography. An example we've studied is the implementation of the global gag rule and how this has had an effect on global health. During our lifetime, we have encountered many changes to space and place. The issues of boundaries have especially been highlighted by Brexit and the 2019 coronavirus pandemic. These show how interconnected the world has become and how important connections across space are. These issues were highlighted by human geography due to focus on thinking spatially.
To conclude, human geography must cooperate with other disciplines to answer and resolve challenges of sustainability, climate change, global health, and many more. For effective cooperation between disciplines, we argue that research aims, methods, motivations, and skill sets need to adapt in such a way that invites participation from sociology, economics, politics, sciences, etc. This entails a mixture of quantitative and qualitative methods to develop interdisciplinary academic research with real implications for policy and community. Human geography will therefore play an essential role in synthesizing different perspectives, theories, and propositions put forward by various disciplines to broad concepts of place, space, identity, culture, and sustainability in order to tackle planetary crises of all scales.